Hello. So today's been a weird day, or at least the ending has been, because I drove to the Peapod, but then right outside of the entrance of the Peapod, there was like there's an ambulance and a fire truck, and like the road was blocked, and there were like two cars in front of me that then turned around. So then it was like, okay, I guess we're not going to the Peapod. So then I just turned around, drove. Also, driving there was a school bus that was waiting for a train to pass. And then the train actually was a truck that had train wheels pulling a train thing. So that was that. And then on the way back, why am I spitting all over my place? On the way back, then there was another train that was passing. There's just so much stop and confusion, and it was like, what's going on? So here I am. Today, 145 dials. No, 147. Good. One booked demo. Decent. Lots of voicemails today, and I feel bad for there was one of the other junior account executives. I think he did 220 dials today, and he didn't book a single demo because it was like, I sent him a message going like, just voicemails today, and he was like, yeah, just voicemails nonstop. That's frustrating. I'm glad I've been rewarded in the past for doing those extra dials at the end of the day. But like if I'm thinking about it, I had 85 dials at 4 o'clock, and come 5 o'clock, that number had increased to 147. So what is that? 15, 53, 63 dials in an hour. Like, didn't really talk to anybody. But the one demo that I did book, something crazy happened. Well, it was just more, I was going through it. He only did life insurance, which isn't the best prospect for this particular program, but he did have a colleague that was a CFP, like a certified financial planner, that he could then like refer these leads that were covered for insurance by him to the CFP to do the actual financial planning. So then it made sense to actually explore the program further. So then I went, okay, well, you want to talk to your partner for sure, makes sense. But would it make sense to book a time to really like learn more about our program so that you actually can go to that conversation with as much information as possible? And he said, no, I don't think so. And then so I said, because I was disappointed, going like, okay, well, like he's just gonna ask for a follow-up or an email, and then that's just gonna turn into something where it dies and nothing happens. So then I said to him, I was going, okay, no, I understand, like, you don't think it would make sense to book another time so that you had all the information. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I paused, and then he went, well, you know, like, let me look at my calendar. And then so we ended up booking a time. But it was just so funny, because it was like, hey, do you want to book a time? No. Okay, if I understood correctly, you don't think booking a time makes sense. Actually, yes, it does make sense. Which then he goes like, okay, so then the skillful questioning and the tone that I'm using has to be in such a way where the idea of the demo being booked needs to come from the person. And sometimes people are more resistant to salesperson telling them, well, let's book an appointment, even if they disagree with the objecting to it. Meaning, his initial response to me suggesting the time was no, because like, no, you don't control me. But then when I told him exactly what he just told me back to him, he heard it and went going, yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. We should book a time. So then it just was that was an interesting thing. Yeah. Tonight at 6 o'clock, there's a webinar that I signed up for, like the Fix Your Script Challenge by Jeremy Miner, I think it is. He is someone who I have recently discovered I don't love his tone or like his kind of approach to it, but I signed it up for it because it's like, okay, well, what training is there? But then specifically, I was watching one of the videos that he had, and the way he used his tone to indicate more activate curiosity in the person you're talking to, which was the demo that I booked. And I could hear myself kind of sounding similar to him. Not the super high status kind of thing, but enough that it was like, okay, well, if your influence led to me having success, if I truly in my heart want to improve at the skill of selling, maybe I should look past the aspects of him that I dislike and see what information that he knows that I can pull from it. Just because like it's like, I might not like you, but if you know something that I don't, then that information is useful. And so, okay. So that's that. Didn't go to the gym this morning, but I did spend 2 hours of today editing the video that was supposed to go out last Friday. It's a long one, it's like 20 minutes long. And there's like so many numbers that I said. So like just the editing it's not just watching through. And then like when I got to the end of it, I went to the back, went to the front, went to the beginning in order to review. And like I get like 7 minutes through, and then there's just a bunch of numbers that I still haven't added the edits for. So that's that. Little frustrated too because, okay, well, the demos that I've booked, there were 4 that were supposed to be held today. One of them didn't show up, which was frustrating because they were actually booked for yesterday, and they did show up, but then had to reschedule for today. So then that's frustrating because it doesn't count. There was another guy who just rescheduled. Another guy who it seems like he's going to be disqualified, so then doesn't count. And then I'm hoping this last person who I booked yesterday, it was for 5 o'clock today. I haven't seen whether the outcome was there, but they actually show up. I have a good feeling about it, but just, yeah. But all in all, nothing really to complain about other than those things. Making progress. I still have the most booked demos overall, so that's good. And yeah, that's that.